everyone! If you're watching this, I am already dead. If you're watching this, you should have already watched Truly Outrageous, a Gem fan film. Lots and lots of love went into it. We really hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna do another video with me and Claire to thank you and sort of sum up in our final Gem journal. This right here is a Q&A of things we anticipate you may be having questions about regarding the film. So thank you for joining me. I wrote it down on this laptop, so hopefully I don't forget anything. If you have other questions, do not hesitate to comment below or message us or tweet at us. We will try to respond to your questions on why we made the film we did. First thing on our list is, why was this the story we wanted to tell? We really love this story because it's a story about sisterhood, certainly first and foremost. The reason I wanted to tell this story was because I love science fiction stories where there's something very special about one of the protagonists and they don't know it, and they find out about it, and it sets them off on a new journey. So this is our first entry into this story, but it sort of sets it up for stories down the line should we want to. It really is supposed to be the beginning of the story, more to the story if you want to go there. When Gem was first announced as a movie, people wondered if it would be a shared universe with Transformers and G.I. Joe and other really beloved 80s Hasbro properties. We sort of wondered to ourselves whether that was possible. Can we keep it in its 80s roots? Can we keep it fun and campy, a musical, and still be in the shared universe of G.I. Joe and Transformers? And while Transformers didn't exactly make its way into this particular script, which went through a couple of revisions, we settled on G.I. Joe's being a small part of the plot. Why did we flip the deaths of Jackie and Emmett? So Jackie and Emmett Benton are Jerrica and Kimber's mom and dad. And in the cartoon, as many of you know, and I'm sure have indicated in our other film or in our other video, Jackie dies in a plane crash, very Buddy Holly, Big Bopper. Emmett dies of natural causes. So if you think about what's natural in the realm of Gem and how to make it our story, a chickbait story, but also be incredibly faithful to what's already in the cartoon and set up, Emmett's this incredible inventor who is making synergy. Synergy can be used by as a weapon for other countries, and it would be, I mean, having really lifelike holograms could change wars. So it was our belief that, hey, sure, he could still die of natural causes, but if for a story to continue, it might be interesting for him to fake his own death or have a danger surrounding him where he would need to fake his own death because he's creating synergy. And he created, in our canon, he created synergy because Jackie was dying and he wanted synergy for himself because he was going to miss his wife and the mother of his daughter, Jerrica. So why create Kimber? Well, the next evolution of synergy in our story is Kimber. And the germ of an idea for Emmett was, I want Jerrica to have a sister for her. And this was sort of around the same time where they were adopting foster youth like Aja and Shayna. But he really wanted someone that would always be there to be there in case things really hit the fan and Jerrica needs someone to save her. So Kimber is there because she's powerful, more powerful than we saw in Truly Outrageous, but also to be a sister. And the interesting thing for any future stories is what that means when you're sort of destined to have this sort of life. You have this sort of life, this is what he wanted for Kimber, but Kimber doesn't want that life. Kimber has her own independent heart. So this leads us to question number 3. Why in the world do we make Kimber a form of a robot? Again, science fiction being really close to my heart, things like Ghost in the Shell, very close to my heart. Just because she's a robot doesn't make her any less of a full-hearted, loving sister. It's just something different about her, created from her parents, than her other sisters. And for me, Kimber is very much that science fiction trope, but also a queer story. So not only does she have a girlfriend in Stormer that they have a very loving relationship, which I know is controversial in the Gem world, but for our purposes, they are together, much like the comic book. But she's a queer story in that there's something special about her, inside of her, and she doesn't maybe know it at first, but then when she recognizes it, it becomes the most authentic part of her being, something that she wants to explore and see where it goes. So to me, that's a queer identity, that's a non-binary identity, that's a trans identity, that's what Kimber represents to me, and why it was so important for me to give her this interesting take that is seated in the cartoon somewhat, but extrapolated to make it a story that we, chickbait, wanted to explore. I know it's gonna be controversial. It is obviously not canon in the Christy Marks cartoon, but we think with all the amazing, imaginative, inventive storylines that the girls saw in the cartoon, that this would sort of fit in if they were to continue. What amazing thing would happen next? Maybe Kimber was more than meets the eye. Where's Rio? Where's Rio? So Rio, our beloved Leo Camacho, who's very, very great in this, in his scene. The answer really is because the actors weren't paid, we very wholeheartedly were fine if they had to take other jobs. So as it happens, the incredible Leo is so incredible that we couldn't quite lock him down for the first, for the complete part of the shoot. So we changed things around a little bit and made his character part of that scene. And when we needed to do reshoots, we were going to make up for lost time. So we were ready in January to shoot the Rio stuff and bring him back into the story, how I'd written it. And then our poor Leo had to go to the hospital. So Leo is such a huge support, and he would very much be a part of anything we do going forward. But the reason there's not a lot of Rio is because Leo had to go to the hospital. He's feeling fine now. He is fine. Leo is very much past on the mend and doing great. Why is Riot in uniform? Why do we depict him as being a military man? If you know Jem, you know that Riot, who is a member of the Singers, he started off being in the military and he left it to start the band with Rapture and Minx. So why do we have him back in military garb? We needed to connect the Joes to Jem organically, and because he had that military past, we thought it might be interesting to embellish on the Riot character and suppose that he didn't exactly leave. He started the band, and after he reconnected with his father, which Jem and Jerica and Holograms facilitated, once he made peace with that aspect of himself, maybe we'll do this one day in a flashback, he is reached out to by the Joes, and they're like, hey, you can be a double agent, you can work for the Joes and also still be a Stinger, and that could be an interesting way to go with that story. So yes, we very much know that he is no longer part of the military, but this is a way to connect the Joes and his character in a way we think was pretty fun. Which is my way of getting us to the Stingers. Where were the Stingers? So we were so fortunate that the gem starters out there helped us meet our goals. But with the money we made, we had to reduce the script in a lot of ways. And the big thing that we had to cut for time and money was the Stingers. Our incredible Miss Scagliotti Allison was initially supposed to be Rapture. Obviously we changed her character quite a bit to be a reporter and Baroness, which I think is very fun, but she was initially supposed to be Rapture, and Rapture was it was a USO show and carnival. And in the parking lot, Rapture was conning people in a carnival tent, using her mysticism and conning people out of their money. Minx and Tech Rat on the outside, Tech Rat helping the special effects, and Minx sort of being bored. Minx actually would appear at the very, very end of the initial script of the film, which is called, after the credits, it's called The Stinger. So Waka Waka, Minx was our Stinger, and we were going to have her next to a truck that would be a Transformer truck, and the Transformer would hit on her and say like something along the lines of, come here often, and Minx would blow him off, and that was supposed to be the tail end. We didn't get to do that, but we do very much hope to bring the Singers back should we ever do another movie. So that's our final question. Do we intend on doing a sequel? That sort of depends on if you guys like what we've done here. If you like what we've done here, if you like Truly Outrageous, a Gem fan film, and want to see it continue, share this. Share Truly Outrageous share it with everyone, and try to make it big. I can only do that if we have you out there interested. We don't want to do something that's simply for us. We want to do something for you, our fellow fans out there. Thank you for joining me through this Q&A. I really hope you loved Truly Outrageous, a Gem fan film. I hope this explained a lot of the stuff that maybe was on your mind, maybe you didn't even think about. We love this movie. We really hope you love it too. Like and subscribe, but also let's talk about it. Comment about the movie down below, comment on it on the actual film. We hope this is something that you enjoy for years to come. We love Gem and the Holograms, and we know it's something that has many years ahead of it in its own IP, and we love that we are a small part of it and a part of the fandom that wants to see it continue in whatever way. Thank you so many out there who supported us and supported the Kickstarter, and in many innumerable ways contributed to this happening. Woo! We made our first film and it feels incredible, and we'll talk all about it in the next Gem Journal when I've got Claire, but thank you again so much.